following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control. There are reports of patients being admitted to hospitals across the city of Phoenix infected with an unknown pathogenic infection. In addition, the symptoms of this virus have been identified. They include extreme nausea and vomiting, disorientation, an inability to move the arms and legs, and an extreme thirst for water. It is unknown what methods of transmission are at this time. However, investigation is currently underway to determine this. All residents of the city of Phoenix are ordered to stay indoors as it is unknown what the nature of this disease is. Avoid contact with infected persons as it is unknown if this virus spreads through bodily contact. If you can, clean any contact surfaces and do not share any consumable products after infected persons. If this disease continues to spread, the city of Phoenix will be placed under quarantine. Please stay tuned to local media outlets for updates on this developing situation. Do not call 911 unless of an actual emergency. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control. The infection that was first reported in Phoenix has worsened and is believed to have gained intense, severe symptoms presented in those infected. They include vomiting, coughing, or ejecting blood in any way, convulsions, slurred speech, locking of the joints and muscles restraining movement in infected persons, and loss of coordination. It is reported that over 5,000 people are believed to be infected. This disease is expected to spread to more areas in the state of Arizona in the next 6 hours. In addition, hospitals have become overcrowded with infected persons seeking medical treatment and can no longer take in any patients at this time. If you have somebody in your home that is infected, you are encouraged to take them to a doctor's office for treatment, if possible. All residents of the city of Phoenix are ordered to stay indoors until the situation is resolved. Listen to local media outlets for more information on this dangerous situation. Do not call 911 unless you have a real emergency. following message is transmitted at the request of the Arizona State Police Department and the Centers for Disease Control. The infection that was first reported in Phoenix has spread to more cities in the state of Arizona. They include Glendale, Flagstaff, Mesa, Casa Grande, Tempe, Peoria, and Lake Havasu City. In addition, the disease has been identified. This disease is believed to be the chronic wasting disease. The chronic wasting disease is a degenerative prion infection most commonly found in deer and livestock, which eats away at the body. This disease has appeared to have mutated into a strain that is harmful to humans. Due to the unprecedented speed of this outbreak, a quarantine has been put into effect for the entire state of Arizona. Martial law has been enacted for the entire state, and the Arizona Army National Guard has been called in to assist local law enforcement in a mutual operation to restore law and order to the area. All travel into and out of Arizona has been suspended until the end of this crisis, and all residents are ordered to shelter in place until the outbreak has been contained. Wherever you are ordered to return to your home. You have 30 minutes to return to your homes, and if you cannot reach your home within 30 minutes, you will be escorted via military transport. To shelter in place, turn off all lights. Close and lock all windows and doors. Turn off heating and cooling systems. And seal all cracks on doors and windows with tape or damp towels. Gather supplies to last you and your family for 1 to 2 weeks, and bring a battery-powered radio to stay updated on this situation. Do not call 911 as the high influx of calls for medical emergencies has caused a simultaneous power surge in the 911 systems across the state. Please stay tuned for updates on this dangerous situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. This is not a test. Repeating, this is not a test. The situation with a chronic wasting disease, first reported in Arizona, has been reported in other states. They include California, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Texas, Oklahoma, and Illinois. In addition to the virus spreading to these areas, isolated reports of people infected with this virus becoming aggressive or suicidal have come in from Las Vegas, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, Denver, Salt Lake City, and Chicago. Disturbing descriptions on these attackers has also been reported. These victims appear to have lost body mass, have strange green, gray, white, or red colored bumps appearing on their bodies, and have no fear for anything around them. The attackers seem to be hiding, scratching, or mauling their victims to death, and then committing suicide in the most disturbing of ways. Mass rioting, looting, and civil unrest has occurred in these areas as a result of the unprecedented speed of this outbreak, and mitigation of the situation has been placed into effect until the end of this outbreak. Due to the situation at hand, the entire southwestern United States, as well as the state of Illinois, has been placed under quarantine, and a national moratorium is now in effect. If you live in these states, you are ordered to stay indoors at all costs. If you come across somebody who is infected, run away as fast as humanly possible. If one of the infected enters your home, hide. If there are no infected persons near your residence, barricade your home from the inside to prevent these infected persons from getting in, or go to a secure shelter. Gather supplies like food, water, clothing, medical supplies, and a battery-powered radio with a backlight forced off. Stay tuned for more information on this life-threatening situation.
This is an emergency action notification, requested by the White House. All EAS participants will follow activation procedures in the EAS Operating Handbook for a national-level emergency. The President of the United States or one of his representatives will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by.
We interrupt your programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. The chronic wasting disease has been reported throughout the United States. Every single state, including Alaska and Hawaii, has reported the spreading of chronic wasting disease within their borders. The virus has also made its way to portions of Canada and Mexico. In addition, the people infected continue to pose a threat to those uninfected. Reports are continuing to come in about infected attacking people at random or exhibiting suicidal behaviors. The infected are now reported to have the bumps on their body burst in an explosive manner, spreading chronic wasting disease even further. Blood-curdling screams have been reported throughout the North American continent as these infected continue to cause chaos throughout these areas. This disease is expected to spread across the world within the next week. A cure is in development to halt the spread of this infection. All residents in North America are ordered to shelter in place immediately. Barricade your home with any means such as boards, furniture, or any heavy objects as to avoid the infected from entering your home. Turn off all lights as well as any audio sources. Gather supplies to last for 1 to 2 weeks as well as a battery-powered radio with a backlight forced off. Due to the current situation, the President as well as those in the line of succession have all been evacuated to a safe, undisclosed location and will speak in the next hour. Stand by for that message. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WJTV. We will continue to serve the Jackson area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Jackson area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. We interrupt your programming. This is a global emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. I say again, this is not a test. The chronic wasting disease has been reported in every country of the world. The infected people continue to cause chaos and havoc across the world. Hordes of the infected are slaughtering many people across the world and are beginning to overpopulate the population of humans. The infected continue to exhibit feral, aggressive, and suicidal behaviors, with the heads of the infected completely bursting off their bodies. Those attacked are suffering an agonizing death at the hands of this disease. Blood-curdling screams and shrieks have been reported throughout the entire world as this apocalyptic event unfolds. There is nowhere to escape this event. The chronic wasting disease cannot be cured by mankind. There is no possible way to stop this disease from spreading even further, as there is no possible way to cure the infected. At this time, you are encouraged to follow these instructions. Gather your loved ones, friends, pets, and objects with you and prepare for your inevitable death. Do not tell younger children of this event and ensure that they live their final moments in peace. Do any activity that will comfort you. If you are part of a religious denomination, pray to your god or gods. All leaders of the world, including the president, have been confirmed to become infected and commit suicide due to the chronic wasting disease. This has led to the collapse of many governments and civilization. Romans 14:8. If we live to the Lord. If we die to the Lord. Whether we live or die, we are the Lord's. We now conclude the final activation of the emergency alert system.